Hi, it's James here, and we're in my studio. And here in Los Angeles, this is where I write and do all the mock-ups of all my scores, and especially the score to King Kong, which we have. I think we're 5 weeks away from the release, and we've recorded about an hour and a half of music, about an hour and 10 minutes to go, and things are going well, and I have an unbelievable amount of work to do, and I'm having a ball. One note at a time.
James pretty much comes in the morning, locks himself in his control room, and just writes from about 9 a.m. to about 2 to 3, depending on a.m., not p.m.
It's this sort of a... Not with strings, however. But you remember that sort of, and then the...
He's writing the music for tomorrow morning right now, and then they'll get the arrangement time to do it at probably midnight, and then the copyists have to do it at 4 in the morning, and here we show up bright-eyed and bushy-tailed in the morning, and we're ready to play it.
We're here recording at the moment at Sony Studios in Culver City in Los Angeles, in the room that used to record all the old MGM musicals and many other things.
Wizard of Oz was scored here in 1939, and hundreds of movies in between.
Have you recorded on this stage?
We did The Frighteners there, yeah, with Danny, a long time ago. Yeah.
It's a pretty cool place.
It's a great place.
Rocha would have recorded here, Waxman would have recorded here, and possibly Steiner too, so it's kind of wonderful, you know.
All set? Speed. King Kong, 4M3B, take 312.
You know, right now there's so many movies going on in LA, it's hard to find stages, so we're just kind of having to take what's available.
So we're going here for 5 days, going to Tadeo for another 3 days, and going up to Fox for another 4 or 5 days, just because those are the 3 really big rooms, and to fit 108 people in the room and get the kind of sound we need.
We record the orchestra in the morning and the afternoon, and then when they go home, a choir comes in.
I was a King Kong fanatic as a kid, so the fact I had a tremendous amount of feeling for the idea of this movie. It's enormous, it's very big.
Right.
It's also very, there are places where it's incredibly small and vulnerable and delicate and quiet.
Well, you know, the first cue that James wrote actually was, we call Kong Appears. It's right after Anne has been lowered down and Kong comes out of the fog. That was the first cue he wrote. I mean, it really did, and it set the tone. It was a beautiful, beautiful sequence, you know.
He wrote the first 3 reels, which are pretty much done now.
Then he jumped to reel 9 to write the finale of the movie, because there were themes in the finale that he wanted to suss out that can be reprised earlier in the film.
I normally write 2 minutes a day is my normal goal, but since we were on this for about 5 weeks, I'm writing a lot.
He's got to get for up to 2 hours, 48 minutes of music done.
When we come back in at 41, it needs to be faster.
Okay.
It's an incredibly condensed schedule. We're doing what normally would take 4 to 5 months in 5 weeks.
By the way, bravo. Beautiful sound. That was just great.
I'll tell you one thing that's not coming up, sleep.
I've been working on it for about 11 days, and I've been averaging about 3.5 or 4 hours of sleep a night, so.
So these are long days. I don't think I've ever worked so hard in my life.
Don't worry, you do have a couple more weeks.
No, I'm not there yet.
There's still a lot of the more massive, giant, action stuff from the middle of the film yet to do, and that's what the next week will entail.
At the moment, it's all working perfectly, and everything's coming down on schedule and going into the mix as planned. Whether that's still true in a week or so, we shall see.